Support WrestleTalk!
Give us a subscribe.
Hello and welcome to the WrestleTalk MECHAnews! I am Luke Owen. Happy Wrestle Kingdom Day, Swaff Nation! I've actually had to take a quick break from watching the show so I can come record this news episode. But by golly, was that Ishii-Sabre Jr. match really good. We'll have 2 reviews of Wrestle Kingdom 13 going up later today, so click subscribe and enable notifications for all to keep up to date with all of our goings on. Coming up on this packed news episode, we've got an outpouring of support for Toni Storm, an all-in star signing with AEW, and other WWE stars reportedly unhappy with the company. But first, everyone in this world is known to make a mistake or two here and there. Even someone as impressive as me can make an error every now and again. Remember that Andrade Cien Almas guff I made in a Smackdown review last year? But thanks to one of our awesome pledge hammers, Chris Jenkins, we've now got these Bludgeon Brothers installed hammers that we can use that he says are powerful enough to turn negative errors into positive successes. These are so cool, by the way. You should check out the NXT WrestleRamble we did yesterday where Ollie El Fakador and myself unboxed them. And maybe we should lend these hammers of success to Asuka, who made a slight slip up at a recent house show event in Tampa. This video was shared by Diva Insider on Twitter. Hey guy, they're not called divas anymore. Which sees SmackDown Women's Champion Asuka attempt a poetry in motion off Charlotte's back onto Becky Lynch and slips. And then attempts and fails to kip up to save face.
You guys give up, or you're thirsty for more?
See, even the best make mistakes. Someone who doesn't need to be turning any negatives around at the moment is Becky Lynch, who seemingly can't do any wrong. Just when you think someone is safe to post on Twitter, the man is lurking like Lars Sullivan to dive in and make you look like a total fool. Our latest victim is once again Raw and SmackDown commentator Corey Graves, who for some reason responded to a fan suggesting that he should start a romantic storyline with Becky Lynch. Okay? But when Graves responded that Lynch could really use that in her life, the man replied, "Of all the things I could use in my life right now, a romance with a middle-aged emo poured into skinny jeans isn't one of them. Maybe you should wait till Monday to reply. You know, when you'll have help with what to say."
Tweetality.
But sadly, we need to segue now into a more serious story. This is again one of those real-life stories that affects real-life people, and we ask that you be friendly in the comments. And for the love of Krull, don't victim blame. Apparently a few days ago, several private and personal nude images that have been hacked and stolen from NXT UK star Toni Storm's phone were released online. Those images were then shared around the internet, with so-called fans tagging Storm in their comments. As a result, the Mae Young Classic 2 winner has deactivated her Twitter and Instagram accounts due to online harassment. If you were walking around the Twitter sphere yesterday, you will have seen an outpouring of support for Toni Storm with the hashtag #WeSupportToniStorm from fans and wrestlers alike, including Will Ospreay, Jordan Grace, Mauro Ranallo, Brian Zane, Bea Priestley, Renee Young, Lillian Garcia, and more, as well as former SmackDown general manager Paige, who herself was a victim of hackers stealing and leaking her private data. Paige tweeted, "From someone that has experienced the same thing, I strongly support you, girl. It's gonna be hard and people are gonna be mean because they don't understand. But you're a strong, talented woman. You'll get through this. Your future is too bright to be dimmed." Someone who wasn't behind the We Support Toni Storm movement was her real-life boyfriend Chris Ridgway, who posted in a since-deleted tweet, "Leave it alone, she wants peace. Let her have peace, have some respect." But even wrestling promotions are getting behind Storm, with WXW sharing their support and Defiant banning someone from their show tomorrow for posting about the images, tweeting, "You probably won't see this given you've deleted your account, but you're not welcome on Saturday. We have cancelled your 2 tickets. You can explain to your friend why they no longer have one." It goes without saying, but we here at WrestleTalk also support Toni Storm and condemn the complete dicks who stole and shared these private images.
Unscathed. What in the world does he pay? He's just slammed to the outside! God! Zero regard! Willie Mack with a shot! Here comes Dave Chris. These 10 may fight until Sunday. You know that Willie wants revenge against OVE after they cost him his opportunity to compete in Ultimate X.
Dave Chris trying to get Willie Mack set up here. Not a lot of room up there. Willie's a big man.
It was Jake Christ who was able to pick up the victory. Wow! now, the stunner and the cover and retribution for Willie Mack.
Your winners of the match, the team of the Rascals, Rich Swann and Willie Mack.
On much lighter news, that was your Impact Wrestling Slam of the week, with Willie Mack pinning Dave Crist with a top rope stunner. Yeah, not a top rope cutter, but a stunner. He's very impressive. And while New Japan's Wrestle Kingdom 13 is happening while I'm recording this video, God, I want to go back and watch it. Impact Wrestling will be holding their first show of 2019 this Sunday with Homecoming, which has a stacked card including Johnny Impact defending his World Championship against Brian Cage, the Lucha Brothers challenging LAX for their Tag Team Championships, Taya Valkyrie and Tessa Blanchard clashing over the Women's Championship, Eli Drake taking on Abyss in a Monsters Ball match, Willie Mack versus Sami Callihan, Moose versus Eddie Edwards, Ali and Sue Young versus Kira Hogan and Jordan Grace, and an Ultimate X match to crown a new X Division champion featuring Rich Swann, Jake Crist, Ethan Page, and Trey Miguel. I'm sure there will also be some surprise appearances along the way. Most likely though not from Green Ranger Tommy Oliver, better known IRL as Jason David Frank. Back in the 1990s, few shows captivated kids like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, myself included. In particular, the epic multi-episode Green with Evil storyline, where our teenagers with attitude had to take on the Green Ranger. Eventually, Tommy Oliver would join the team and become the heroic White Ranger, and the guy who played him, Jason David Frank, has stayed involved with the franchise to this day, making cameo appearances and even appeared in the recent big screen reboot alongside original Pink Ranger Amy Jo Johnson, who by the way was my first ever celebrity crush. Frank isn't just an actor though, as he's also an accomplished martial artist and even tried his hand at MMA in amateur fights, recently trying to arrange an MMA fight with UFC star and former WWE champion CM Punk. But now Frank is looking to try his hand at professional wrestling, appearing at a Texas Laredo Wrestling Alliance show recently to announce he'll be having a match with the company at some point. And you know, if all goes well for Jason David Frank and, I don't know, Stephen Amell steps back into a wrestling ring for Double or Nothing, we could have a match between the Green Ranger and Green Arrow. Maybe Ryan Reynolds can be the guest referee as Green Lantern, and, I don't know, Seth Rogen could be the timekeeper as Green Hornet. Maybe Rachel Green can do commentary. And maybe WWE could bring Frank in to boost the ratings for their shows, which sadly took another hit this week due to the New Year's. Smackdown Live did manage to top 2 million viewers to beat Raw again this week, but is still 20% down on their viewership for the same week last year. In 2017, Smackdown Live averaged 2.5 million viewers, which dropped to an average of 2.3 million in 2018. Raw comparatively only lost 6% of its audience, dropping from an average of 3 million viewers in 2017 to an average of 2.8 million in 2018. But what did you think of this week's Smackdown Live? I scored the show Smacktastic based on that Becky Lynch and John Cena segment and the fun 5-way main event, and 75% of you agreed, with 14% thinking it was smack bang in the middle. But while you were all seemingly happy with Smackdown, a new report suggests that there are a few popular stars who aren't. Late last year, when All Elite Wrestling was just a rumor based on some trademarks that had been filed, there were several reports floating around that Cody and the Young Bucks were putting feelers out to several contracted WWE stars about joining their new venture. We here at WrestleTalk reported that 2 contracted stars have agreed to join the company in principle, but there are reportedly other names who could make the jump. Ty Dillinger, Zack Ryder, and Dolph Ziggler have all tweeted back and forth with Cody Rhodes, leading to speculation they could be on that list of names. And there are also rumors that AEW could also be signing Chris Jericho, Jim Ross, and former Universal Champion Goldberg. And according to Ryan Satin of Pro Wrestling Sheets, there appear to be even more names than have been previously reported. Posting on Twitter, I also know of some popular WWE wrestlers watching what happens with All Elite Wrestling very closely, as they're unhappy creatively and looking for a change of scenery, which will certainly make the Double or Nothing rally in Jacksonville, just down the road from SmackDown Live next week, even more interesting. Perhaps someone in the SmackDown locker room will be looking to pull a Jimmy Jacobs. Someone who is officially joining All Elite Wrestling, according to Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer, however, is All-In star Britt Baker, making her the first non-elite wrestler to join the promotion. Baker was part of the All-In women's 4-way match that involved Chelsea Green, Madison Rayne, and Tessa Blanchard, and has also competed for the likes of Ring of Honor, Shimmer, and NXT. And before we get out of here, I just wanted to let you know that if you are one of our awesome pledge hammers over on Patreon, you can vote in the poll for our next WrestleRamble Extra episode, where Ollie and I review classic pay-per-views from wrestling's past. This month's choices include include Royal Rumble 1992, 1998, 2000, 2001, 2002, and 2005, as well as Wrestle Kingdom 9 and 11, New Year's Revolution 2006, and more. Head on over to patreon.com/WrestleTalk to get involved. Find out more about Goldberg possibly signing with All Elite Wrestling in Ollie Davis's Super News by clicking the video on screen right now. I've been Luke Owen, and that was wrestling.